would like to say, at long last, you're welcome. You're welcome because, frankly, none of you would be in this room without the very significant, if not somewhat clandestine efforts of the Calendar Stoops. If you didn't know, Emmy takes our opinion pretty seriously, and we had a lot to do with what is happening today. I'm sure you're curious, so here's the story. When we met Ben a few years back, we knew we met a kindred spirit, the older brother from another mother that we simply never had.
Even at that first awkward visit in Philly, when Ben joined the Calendar Stoops for some Jewish holiday or another, he simply fit right in. The scene looked something like this. Ira walks into the den. Empty family-sized bags of baked lays are strewn all across the floor.
Yeah.
Dirty dishes sit on the coffee table as Hanny and Emmy fight over which Lifetime movie about abuse and deception to watch for the 7th time. Ira inquires into the whereabouts of the new boyfriend. Emmy nods towards the living room. Lo and behold, Richie, the well-known master of welcoming newcomers, had commenced the welcome process. Pretending not to be able to hear anything from his office in the breakfast room. No, it was the one in the kitchen. Or was it the office in the dining room? No, it was definitely the bedroom branch of the office. Richie had Ben moving furniture around the living room in no time. I can't remember if the first welcome hug came before or after that, but we all knew that Ben liked what he was getting himself into.
I mean, Richie Stoops' living room doesn't just make itself, of course. It requires unwitting new boyfriends like Ben. And after Ben had successfully moved living room furniture in preparation for a family meal of people he didn't even know, Richie made sure there would be no moments of boredom or awkward silence. Ben was soon doing a task reserved only for the most special of guests, putting away chairs in the living room that had probably been there since the last Passover. And with a welcome like that, how could young Ben say no? Shar, of course, knew Richie's furniture welcome wasn't going to be enough to keep a handsome young man like Ben around forever. Shar, realizing early on that there was something special about Ben, sprung into action and began searching far and wide for a special gift to anchor the affection of the possible heir to the Calendar dynasty.
Someone, after all, does have to inherit a lifetime supply of Lululemon clothing and Mackenzie child furniture. So after searching and seeking, a suitable gift was found for the eligible bachelor. And come Hanukkah, Ben received what can only be described as the best Hanukkah gift this family has ever known. A real, live, ready-to-use Starbucks gift card. But not just any Starbucks gift card. One purchased on Elkins Park's most beautiful and exclusive boulevard, Old York Road. Yes, it was clear at that point that we liked Ben, and we did everything we could to make sure that he knew it.
But Ben was sort of a shy boy. While we knew he was falling in love with Emmy and feeling the warm embrace of our family, we also knew he needed a little extra support to show it. As many here well know, few things attract a man to a potential in-law family like consistent and unrelenting talk of family-wide gastrointestinal conditions, a depth of knowledge about the sexual lives of the potential in-laws, an unusual obsession with the taken-as-gospel recommendations of a grumpy bent-over doctor named Barry Cooper, and regular eating habits similar to bears first seeing food after hibernation.
And so while we're normally a quiet, timely, conservative, and dignified family, loath to stir the pot or push the fold too far, like the best of any long line of American wasps, we altered our normal routines in order to pitch this family to Ben. And frankly, it worked. Because here we are, 824 visits to Sprinkles Ice Cream Parlor later, and Ben is joining our family. But the skeptics amongst us will surely be asking themselves if the campaign that we just laid out really did the trick to bond the blocks to the Calendar Stoops. And the answer is no. After meeting Steve and Michelle, we knew this wouldn't be a cakewalk. Because what you have to know about Steve and Michelle is that they are some of the nicest and kindest people on earth. And sometimes, just sometimes, it takes people as open and loving as Steve and Michelle a little while to warm up to a family as cold and reserved as the Calendar Stoops.
Thus, soon after the first encounter with the larger Black clan, the calendar Stoops put into action a courting plan unlike any other. We called this hashtag Benemi Shida 2012. Wedding today, babies tomorrow. As most of you know, the calendar Stoops are pretty techy. Just spend a few moments watching Sean on her Android and you'll get a sense for how savvy we are with the latest innovations. Since we knew Ben was a Twitter fiend, we planted ideas via Twitter to help Ben court our sister, whose passions are sometimes so subtle and so delicately pursued, one can miss her priorities altogether. Here is a small selection of the tweets we helped Ben compose, quietly directed at Buscemi.
Quote, few things inspire me like hashtag MLK Shabbat services and vegan potluck dinners. If only they composted the food afterwards, we wouldn't even have to pray hard on Yom Kippur. Chuckle, chuckle, hashtag MLK, hashtag social justice.
Quote, beekeeping is such an incredible prism through which to think about gender binaries and normativity. Like, let's spend some time tonight really unpacking the concept of the queen bee. Hashtag breaking binaries, hashtag homemade honey.
Quote, when I compost, it really helps me connect with the cycle of life and the problems facing young parents in DC schools. I wonder if there's a good progressive Jewish tech study group in the area to help me explore this with other activists and organizers. Hashtag compost reflections, hashtag need new hobbies.
Quote, I'd rather gouge my eyes out than see people best shalom on Rosh Hashanah. Any day for that matter. Hashtag Benjamin, hashtag Benny Boo.
Quote, baking artisanal pizza at our home is the best way to let our neighbors know that we don't support the gentrifying new farm-to-table restaurants popping up in our neighborhood. Hashtag it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. It should probably be clear to all of you why the calendar Stoops deserve nothing less than a medal for bringing these two together. But once we met Ben, Steve, Michelle, Rachel, and Cameron, our decision to bring them together wasn't a hard choice at all. In fact, it wasn't even a choice. We knew we needed to make it happen.
And quite honestly, Ben is pretty damn lucky. Not only can he look forward to a baby with IBS, lactose intolerance, chronic stomach inflammation, and a regular slot at Harvey Gutman's GI office, but he won Emmy. And that, hands down, is an exceptional gift.
Because there are few people in the world like our sister. Where others take shortcuts, Emmy takes the hard road. And she has done it her entire life. Regardless of the cards dealt her, she finds a way to play a good hand. From US-wide to her advocacy for the most vulnerable in our society, she's been a role model and brave inspiration to both of us. A no BS kind of gal, Emmy has a fire inside of her that burns to help those in need and pursue justice in a world in desperate need of more of it. I know I wouldn't be where I am today, working for a better Israel at J Street, if it weren't for her raising new, critical, and deeply challenging questions about a place our family cares deeply about.
I know I wouldn't have considered working at a place like the Emerson Center or considered avodah after college if it weren't for the passion for change and equality that Emmy brings to everything she does, at MTA, at Weave, and at home. Emmy, we both wouldn't be the people we are without you. In the most challenging of times in our lives, personally and as a family, you were the person who lifted us up, helped us see the way out, and put us back on track. We've learned from your mistakes and your successes, and we've always known you would have our backs, no matter what and no matter when. And for that, and so much more, we love you.
You found a man worthy of your love and affection, and he found a woman deserving of his. And there are few things that make us happier than that. Now, we know that we are not the only people here to help bring these two together. And so we'd like to ask everyone under the age of 30, and Charlene, to take out their respective smartphones and get on Twitter. Using the hashtag Benemi2012, please tweet your favorite Benemi thought, message, or experience for the lovebirds to enjoy in cyberspace after the wedding. Again, hashtag Benemi2012.
With all of our love, we look forward to lots of simchas and happiness in the months and years to come. And we both look forward, Aunt Hanny and Uncle Ira, to babysitting the triplets we expect to see in exactly 9 months from today.
So with that, we hope everyone enjoys their locally sourced grilled seitan and non-genetically modified vegetable kebabs. And look out for Ben at the end of the meal, who will be collecting scraps for Ben and Emmy's award-winning compost cooking. Thank you.
We love you guys. Smoochie.